Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Sarah.
So great to see so many of you from all over. Looking forward to getting started.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We are excited to have you here for the special session on ClassPoint, a tool that makes your PowerPoint presentations interactive and fun. This webinar is proudly organized and presented by the North London Grammar School and International Greenwich Olympiad. IGO is a project-based competition for students aged 10 to 18. Before we dive into the session, please take a moment to watch a video highlighting our achievements at IGO 2024. Thank you for watching, and if you are interested in participating, feel free to email us. You will receive brief information about IGO and full information about ClassPoint, along with your certificates after the webinar. Our speaker today is Sarah Wanasek, the Country Manager of ClassPoint. She will guide you on how to use ClassPoint to make your lessons more engaging and interactive. Feel free to ask questions at the end of the session. We encourage you to participate and make the most of this opportunity. Please enjoy.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's exciting webinar on gamification in PowerPoint with ClassPoint. My name is Ali. I'm a math teacher at North London Grammar School, currently in my classroom, and as well as I am the organizer of the International Greenwich Olympiad. I am an educator. We are in the same boat. So we are always looking for innovative ways to engage our students, and gamification is one of the most powerful tools for making learning more interactive and enjoyable. And I had been searching for a platform to support gamification in my lessons. I had been using ClassGraph, I told Sarah before, but unfortunately, ClassGraph does not exist anymore. Then a brief research, then I discovered ClassPoint, and which enhanced PowerPoint with fantastic interactive features. It becomes, I think it gets some kind of Marvel characters. It becomes a powerful tool. Then I reach out to Sarah on the behalf of IGO International Greenwich Olympiad, and we are delighted to have her with us today. And as far as I know, Sarah is an expert in educational technology, because I'll check her YouTube channel, and some of the videos, one of them is more than 1 million, about the best tools, AI tools, and so on. And and we'll be demonstrating today how we can transform our PowerPoint presentation into dynamic, interactive learning experience using ClassPoint. So get ready to explore practical strategies and hands-on demonstration that will make our lesson, your lesson, more engaging and effective. So let's give a warm welcome to Sarah. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you for that great introduction. So excited to be here and share with you all how you can add some gamification into your PowerPoint lessons, which I know a lot of people are familiar with. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen and walk you guys through some ClassPoint features. All right. Okay, so today, like I said, we're going over some gamification and different ways to add that into your PowerPoint lessons. So today we're going to go over 10 different ways to add gamification into your PowerPoint presentation. So we'll cover all of these 10 ways by the end of our session here. But before we dive into that, for those of you who don't know what ClassPoint is, I'll give you a quick introduction. So ClassPoint is an audience engagement tool that's used all over the globe, right? Seamlessly integrated into your PowerPoint presentations. So what exactly does that mean? So ClassPoint is made to help your teaching and training inside of PowerPoint, as PowerPoint is sometimes not best designed for that interactivity and especially that gamification piece. Because of that, you get one-way communication when you're using traditional PowerPoint presentations with little to no audience engagement. And if you do want this audience engagement, you have to switch between multiple different tools. So when you're using ClassPoint, all of this is gone away and you're able to interact with your audience all inside of one platform. And the way that that is done is ClassPoint integrates, as I said, seamlessly into your PowerPoint presentation. So you see when you download and install ClassPoint, you have this Inkno ClassPoint tab inside of your PowerPoint ribbon here. So then that way you can add in all of your interactivity right inside of PowerPoint in a familiar place. The next step is once you get into your PowerPoint presentation mode, you have this toolbar here at the bottom. This toolbar houses all of our presentation tools that make it more interesting and engaging for you to present to your audience. And then our last piece is our class code here at the top. So that is how your audience can join into your class to participate and start with that gamification. So what a better place to start for us as well is I will have you guys join into my class. So you can QR code, or I will copy our URL and paste it into the chat. You guys can click on this, add in your name, and we can go ahead and get started. Anyone has any trouble, just click on that link to go ahead and join into the class. The class code is Gamify, so you can use that. Type in your name to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions throughout the session, please feel free to throw them in the chat. Or once, oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you. There we go. All right, now you guys should be able to join in. Perfect. If it was blocking you before, please just go ahead and refresh. We are using what ClassPoint is called a private or a public class. So I just had to make sure that I allow guests for all of you guys to join in. So again, just go ahead, refresh, try again if it says that you are not able to, and we can go again and get started. To join in again, everyone, you can scan this QR code or go to the website classpoint.app, type in the class code of Gamify, or I will put the link in the chat one more time. You guys can click on that link to join in. I'll give it about 1 more minute and then we can go ahead and get started. So again, you guys can still join in even if this window is closed. So just go ahead, check out the chat to join in the ClassPoint class. Perfect. And those of you that are joined in, you will also see a little Q&A box at the bottom of your screen when you're joined into ClassPoint. You can also throw in any questions there. Yep, the class code is Gamify, so you can use that and then type in your name. So you can see that right here at the top along with it over here. Excellent. As I said, feel free to continue joining in. I am going to close this window, but you can also go ahead and join. It's the website, class code of Gamify. Awesome. Okay, the first thing that we want to go over, just a quick little warm-up question for you all, is the first word that comes to your mind when I say gamification. So this is a ClassPoint word cloud question. We'll go ahead and see the kind of results that we get. Awesome. So great to see so many of you throwing in some different words and examples. With our word cloud question types, these are a great way to kind of get started and see your students' feedback and get that nice visual overview. I'll give it 5 more seconds and then we can go ahead and get started. So once I close that submission, we can review some of the results. So within ClassPoint, we can highlight these top answers and you can see the ones that are the most popular. So we can go award some stars to the people who submitted these top responses. And games are really close, really similar. If needed, you can also note that any words can also be deleted just so that nothing inappropriate is there if you guys need. So that is a great way. I would also agree that fun and gamification go hand in hand, which is why we want to add that into our PowerPoints for our students to keep them engaged, have a little bit of fun within your lessons and keeping them motivated as well. So the first way to award stars in class, there's so many different ways to award your stars during your class. So as you could see, I just awarded some stars when we did a interactive question. However, you can also award stars for participation, for attendance taking, along with other examples like if students hand in an assignment early. So I can always click on this class code up here in the top corner. And I can see all of my students listed here. So we can award stars to everyone because, for attendance taking, everyone is here. And then if needed, you can also award stars to individual users. So let's say they answered something verbally, or like I said, they handed over an assignment early, they volunteered for an example, you're also welcome to award stars individually as well. So those are a couple different ways to award stars on the first piece of adding gamification into your PowerPoint. So individually or as a group. In addition, sometimes you might need to deduct stars. So this could be because of class behavior, or if students answer a question wrong, you can also deduct any stars as well. Also be done when clicking on the class code. And next to the award stars, you can also see this deduct stars from myself. So you can do that individually for your students as well. And the next way to kind of add some gamification into your classroom is the option to accumulate stars. So as you guys have been getting more stars, you can notice that we have some different level badges. If I also showcase our whole entire class with some other users who have used this class code before, we can see that we have lots of different level badges here. So this is all editable and customizable for you so that you can work with your class on the gamification and different levels that fit your classroom. So the best way to do this is first by setting up a saved class. So as I said, within ClassPoint, you can have a public class. So these are a random class code that can be used for one-off situations. You still have the same opportunity to award stars and deduct stars. However, the progress won't be tracked. So that is why we like to use a saved class. So these are more unique class code. So this one is gamified. And then that way you can have your participants join in this class code session after session. And with that, so if I turn off those online participants again, you can see that we have students who aren't here with this gray dot, and they still already have some stars from other sessions. So this is really great to use in your classrooms for the year, the quarter, the semester, depending on how you want to split that up. I will show you guys just really quickly on how to create one of these classes for your classroom. So if we leave our PowerPoint presentation and go into our PowerPoint edit mode, we can see that Ink No ClassPoint tab here. From here, we can click on My Classes, and this gives you the opportunity to create a saved class. Again, these saved classes are where you can add in your participants and track their progress throughout time. So if I add a new class here, we can give that class a name. Let's say it's for a math class. Then you can also add in your class code. So this could be something like Maths 202, and feel free to add an image as well. And then these class codes do need to be unique. So we can go ahead and try this. Perfect. And now you can add in your participant names. So feel free to type in your participant names as listed, or you can always go ahead and import from a CSV file as well. And then that way it's really easy to add in all of your students. From here, I will just go ahead and add in a couple of names so we can finish that class. And now we have a class set up with some students. So you'll notice that they are still on level 1. Once they get awarded stars, they can level up through all of those different ways that we have, commented on before. So then when you go into your PowerPoint presentation, you're ready to begin presenting to your class. Again, you can click on this class code, and then when you go to change your class, you can see that newly created class code and use that for your class. That way, you can go ahead and enjoy awarding them stars and different things like that throughout time. So those students can always join this Maths 262 class and have their information remembered. So that is how you can accumulate stars throughout time. Ooh, one thing I do want to mention is also our level badges. So if I show you guys here, we can award some stars, and you'll notice that as we award stars, that level has been changed. So to customize your guys' levels while you're accumulating those stars, this is a really great way to add in some motivation for your classroom and your students. So you can have each level be a different prize in your classroom, or students get certain perks, once they reach a certain level. But if you click on your account in ClassPoint, actually, it's going to be I apologize. So once we click on settings here in ClassPoint, you'll be able to see this gamification tab. And this gamification tab, you'll be able to see all of the levels that you have, and you can edit these. So that way you can adjust how many stars it takes to reach each level. That way it's a little bit more fitting for your classroom, and you guys can use this how you would like. Feel free to take away any levels if needed or add them back. Let's go ahead and change this. So now that is how you can set up your classes and your different level badges within ClassPoint. The next step is after class, we can also adjust any stars. So with those stars, if you have left your students, so you've awarded stars through here as well, you can also adjust their stars after the class. So after class, when you click on My Classes again, you can also click on that certain class. I'll go into our gamification class that we are all in now. You can see that you have all of your participants listed and the number of stars they have with which level. So feel free to click on a student to adjust their stars. So that way you guys can also use this not in live session. So if a student has done something outside of class, you can also go ahead and award stars in this way or deduct them if needed. So you have that location here to go ahead and adjust those stars. And then I will just stay here as well to let you guys know how you can also reset stars. So once you're in ClassPoint, you guys have added in this gamification of awarding stars to your students. Let's say the year is over, the semester, or maybe you're only doing it monthly or weekly. You can also quickly reset these stars. So that way your students stay, you don't have to create a new class, and you can go ahead and start from the beginning. So again, we click on My Classes. We can go into that gamification class. Click on Reset Stars here, and it will just give you a little notification. It will reset everyone back to 0. We can say yes, and we'll notice that here on the side, will take a moment since we have big class, but now everyone is back to 0 with one on level 1 with their level badges here. So let's get back into it and out so that way we can all get a couple awarded as well. But this is just a quick checkpoint, quick pause. I'll answer some questions that we have so far. But so far, we've shown how to award stars in PowerPoint, how to deduct them, how to accumulate your stars throughout time, so that way you can track your students' progress, along with adjusting stars after class and resetting your stars. So those are all the different ways that you can do that. Let me just make sure we have our allowed guests on for you guys to join back in. And I will just check to see what kind of questions we have so far. So ClassPoint is free to use. We have a tiered license. So there is a ClassPoint Free, a ClassPoint Pro, and a ClassPoint Premium for your schools. So feel free to download that free version and get started. You can do all that gamification that we've talked about so far on that free version. And if you do need to install ClassPoint, it can be downloaded and installed for free at classpoint.io. Excellent. And I just want to check our other Q&A. All right, perfect. And let's get into some of our interactive activities now, which is a huge proponent of gamification as well. So there are lots more ways to add some gamification into your PowerPoint. These ones are super interactive. So if you guys were kicked out, please just join back into that gamification class code here, because we'll need all of the participation possible. So our first way to also add in some gamification is to use the activities with ClassPoint. So awarding student stars for their participation, for any good answers to questions and different things like that, especially if they get questions correctly. So the first question that we have here is, how do you measure the success of gamification in your guys' classroom? So I will open up this question, so then that way we can all go ahead and add in some insights that we can share with each other. Give everyone about 2 minutes to answer this question, and we can take a look at some of those results. The question, I will minimize this for about a minute, but feel free to refer to the slide above on your device. But the question is, how do you measure the success of gamification in your ClassPoint, or in your classroom, sorry. Individual teachers are free to use ClassPoint on their own. We do have a plan for schools as well that you guys can reach out to us to learn more about, but you're welcome to use this as an individual. 10 more seconds, I'll open up our window. That way we can go ahead and take a look at some of those responses. Awesome. So we have lots of different responses here listed. So you guys can always dive deeper into these results by clicking on this Lightbox view. So that way you can review the student responses from here. These are all really great suggestions. And let's go ahead and search up engagement. Looks like a lot of people have added something about engagement or engaging here. So you can use this search bar to also search up anything specific in your classroom. So let's go ahead and wait 15 more seconds and then I'll give this question a close so that we can award some stars. But while we're waiting for that, one thing that is really helpful is we also have this live status view. From here, you're able to see which students have submitted and which ones are still pending. So that way, if you guys do want 100% participation, you can urge those students to go ahead and submit. But for now, we'll give this question a close, and now we are able to award some to our students. So because we did that search, we can award stars to everyone who is listed here who mentioned something about engaging their students. So that is one way to award stars during your presentation with these activities, is by grouping the responses and awarding stars there. However, you can also go ahead and you'll see a little star hovering. You can also award stars to individual students as well. So we can go ahead, award a couple more. Student motivation is a great one. Lots of different ways to keep your students engaged during class. And it is always great to see the different ages of students that get motivated by stars and leaderboards and a little bit of competition as well. So that is one way to award stars within our different ClassPoint question types. Another way to award stars is to do it automatically with our quiz mode question type. So ClassPoint has 8 different types that you can use to engage your audience. So let's walk you through adding in a question with quiz mode. So quiz mode is a version of our multiple choice question. So once you guys set up your ClassPoint questions within your PowerPoint presentation, which means you just add in the text of your question on your slide, along with the A, B, C, D, etc. results if you're doing multiple choice. To make this question a quiz mode question, that way stars are awarded to students automatically. Bless me. So when students, the quiz mode question allows ClassPoint to award stars to students for answering that question correctly. That way you can be a little bit more hands-free in your classroom and you don't have to manually give those stars like I have been doing so far. So to do this, we'll just click on our multiple choice question. It will add our button onto our slide. You can move it around where you would like. And then here in the side panel, you will see that you have some different choices. So we can make sure our number of choices 4 here matches our A, B, C, D. And then we want to turn on our quiz mode. So here you can select the correct answer. This correct answer is B, and then the quiz mode allows you to choose how many stars you want to award to students. So we have 1 star that goes along with an easy question, 2 for intermediate, and 3 for difficult. So when you set this, if it's 3 stars here, students will receive 3 stars if they get this question correct automatically. So let's go ahead and run this question. That way you guys are able to see those results. So now I can just, again, click multiple choice icon here. Give this a quick minimize. That way you guys are able to review. Go ahead and submit your multiple choice response. Awesome. And again, if you're not joined into ClassPoint, feel free to join in at classpoint.app, the website with the class code Gamify and your name. Within ClassPoint, when these questions are active, it's really great to be able to minimize that question, so then that way the students can submit their results without being influenced by what their classmates are submitting. So you can do that by, again, like I said, minimizing that response window. Otherwise, we also have this eye icon down here that will also hide those responses and won't open them up until you are ready. So once the question is closed, you will be able to see those results, and it will automatically show that correct answer. And if you got that question correct, you will receive those 3 stars automatically because of the quiz mode question. Along with the quiz mode automatically awarding stars, you'll also get a little bit more feedback from these questions. So with the quiz mode questions, you can see we have a quiz summary down here. And this quiz summary will show the results of your question. So you can see how many questions your student has answered, how many they got correct, and how fast they answered those questions correctly, how many stars they got awarded. So this is really great to kind of build on this table throughout your class, so you can kind of intermix these quiz mode questions, or it's really great to use for a review game or something at the end of class as well. We also have this table view here that you can see the questions. This will continue building as many quiz mode questions that you have in your PowerPoint presentation, and you'll also see that correct percentage rate. So this is a really nice visual for your classroom as well. I'm glad to see a lot of people got the question correct. And then last, you can also download this as a report to save and have in your classroom. So really great to have those analytics when you are kind of trying to balance and test the gamification in your classroom as well. So those are some different ways to use it for ClassPoint's activities with just a normal short answer question, but also our quiz mode question types. So then that way you can be a little bit more hands-free in your classroom. And next, you can also use ClassPoint and award stars with the Pick a Name feature. With Pick a Name, this will allow you to select a student randomly room. So right now this looks pretty big because we have quite a big class. However, if I just show our online participants, we'll show the only 5 who are here online today. And you can click this wheel to select a random student, and this can be, used for a verbal question or something else in class to volunteer for an activity, something like that. So award stars to them. So they can stay outside of the wheel here, or you can put them back depending on how you want to interact with your students. So this will keep them on their toes and is a really great way for you to not have any favoritism in your classroom as well. Another way that you can use this name picker feature is also this card view. So this card view matches with the wheel view, so anyone picked on either side will be pulled out, but then you can randomly select a student here and also click on them again to award them stars for participating, or lots of other different options as well in your classroom. And the last feature of the Pick a Name is auto pick. So this will pick more than one student at a time. So this way is also really great to group your students. So if you want them to separate into groups, you can use this to do that. So let's say we want groups of 5. We can pick 5 names here and say all of these 5 are in a group together, or those 5 people, whoever answers the question the quickest will get the star. So you can do that as well, or award stars for all of them. However, if you do want to group your students, this can kind of be difficult if you want them to be a team. So let's say if you can always have your individual stars, but if I want all of these 5 students to have a combined effort of their stars, it is pretty hard to track and to see that within this pick a name feature. So that is why ClassPoint also has a grouping feature. Students can compete not just individually, but as a team in their groups. So I'll show you guys how to set that up. So within your saved classes, when you click on that class code, you can see your individuals, but then you can also go ahead and group your students. So from here, you can add some groups manually in your ClassPoint class. However, you can also do some automatic grouping as well. So this will ask how many members you want per group. So you can adjust this. Let's say we want 10 people in each group. We can go ahead and save this, and ClassPoint will automatically group your students here. And on your guys' student side, you should now see that you have a group assigned to you. So these groups are editable, so feel free to go ahead. You can edit the group name, change that color, and also go ahead and edit any of the members of your group as well. So we have some people who are ungrouped. Let's go ahead and add them here. Just joined in. So there we go. We have some different students per group that you guys can see here. And now any stars that students have been awarded will also go towards their group. So this way, your students grouping, you can see lots of different ways there. So you can click to see their individual stars, award stars to them as a group if you guys are having a team competition. And then, of course, you can still see all of your individual students here. So if you also noticed before, all of your student colors were gray if they did not pick an image, but now they are assigned with their group to have that color there. Next, we can also, a great way to participate with your students, show that little bit of motivation, show our leaderboard. I'm going to go to our next slide here. The leaderboard is a great way to show students their progress throughout time and against their classmates as well. So we have the leaderboard icon right here on the toolbar or back here in your class code as well. So this leaderboard, we have a couple of different options. So here you can see the current class rank. So this current class rank shows just for that day's session how your students are doing. Then we also have our total stars rank, and this total stars rank will be throughout time. So if you guys all came back tomorrow, we did the same webinar again. This total stars rank would be the combination of your stars from yesterday or from today and tomorrow. So you have those different ways to track your student progress. And lastly, we also have our group rank. So our group rank here will also show you which groups have been awarded the most stars. So these are some fun ways to keep your students motivated throughout class. You can show them this, at the beginning, in the middle, at the end, or, however you guys want to kind of keep that gamification in your classroom. So those are most of the 10 ways to gamify your presentations inside of PowerPoint when you're using ClassPoint. Some other benefits of gamification when you're using PowerPoint is it helps boost that motivation and the participation in your classroom with students. In addition, it also encourages active learning in your classroom. So that way students are really participating and taking a part in their own learning. And then it also makes complex topics approachable. So these complex topics that students are dealing with, when you break it down into some gamification pieces, those different activities, or are rewarding them stars for understanding and for giving it a try, it makes students feel a little bit more comfortable and helps break down those complex topics one at a time. And then lastly, ClassPoint can also promote retention. So, or not ClassPoint, but gamification as well. So then that way students are able to retain that information that they learn. They can associate it with some of the games or other stars, different things that is done in your classroom as well. So to recap, we have gone over how students can award stars, or how teachers can award stars to students, how they can deduct stars in their classroom, all done through this class code here at the top, how they can accumulate stars shown in the leaderboard down here, and how to adjust stars and reset stars after class. So in that way, you guys can really track your students' progress throughout time. In addition, we've also gone over how to use the different stars with your activities, which is a great way to kind of get a check for understanding with your students and awarding them stars for that participation. And then you can also award stars with that quiz mode through pick a name, and then also with the grouping and showing all of their progress on that leaderboard. So to go ahead and get started, you guys can sign up and install at classpoint.io. I'll leave this up for a moment, answer some questions, but don't go anywhere because I have a 30-day trial for you guys all to give it a shot, and also your certificates. But let me go ahead and take a look at some of our questions. So ClassPoint is only available for the desktop version of PowerPoint on Windows devices. However, our YouTube page does have a video on how to use ClassPoint with an iPad if you are going to be screen mirroring or screen sharing. ClassPoint could be used for online lessons. However, do note that it is best used for live sessions because we do not have any asynchronous features at the moment. Perfect. Not sure I understand this question, but you can, after you answer the ClassPoint question, once the question's closed, you'll be able to see all of your student stars and different things like that. So we'll check it out there. Awesome. And I'll check in the chat if there's anything that I missed, but feel free to throw in any questions if you guys want to see any other things of ClassPoint that you might have missed. Do let me know. Otherwise, I will share with you guys the class code or the key here to go ahead and activate your ClassPoint account. So you guys can write this down. To activate your ClassPoint 30-day trial, it is this key here. I will exit out quick so I can put this in the chat, but this is a 30-day trial of our ClassPoint Pro account. So you guys are free to use this. That way you can use most of the features that we have gone over. Oops. Looks like that didn't copy. Let me try one more time. There we go. Does not want to stay. There we go. All right, there's your guys' key in the chat. That way you guys can try out that 30-day trial of ClassPoint Pro. When you want to activate your trial, you can do this online at the app.classpoint.io. This is our ClassPoint web app. I will show you guys what that looks like. So with the ClassPoint web app, you'll be able to view all of your classes. So as you can see here, we have our gamification class. You can also adjust and add any stars for your students here, and you can add participants and see all of your class reports. So that way you can go through and see those classes. So this was our question that we did before, that word cloud, and you can also see the results of your question. So we see our word cloud here, along with any questions and our class leaderboard as well. But if you go to your account when you're in ClassPoint here, at the bottom, there will be an I have a activation key. You can click on that and type in that class code. So it'll be an account and at the very bottom. So ClassPoint's gamification elements are a great way to balance, the student learning instead of, distracting from the content. You guys as teachers can pick and choose when to use these gamification elements. They're not mandatory, so that is a great way to kind of pick and choose on when you want to be using them in your classroom. So teachers can really use this in the way that is fitting for your classroom. You guys know your students best and how much gamification they might need or when it starts to be distracting. You can always award stars and not show them that leaderboard, or, if you know that they're really motivated by that leaderboard, show it more often. You guys can really have that freedom to use this gamification features as you would like. And lastly, I will also just copy this. This is for your guys' certificate of participation. Also send this in an email after as well, but you guys can click on that, fill it out. So then that way you guys can either scan this code, click on the link, and you guys can get your certificate for participating in today's session on using gamification in PowerPoint presentations with ClassPoint. The certificate is free for participating, so go ahead and click on that. And then you see we also have a question on some best practices for integrating some activities within ClassPoint for different learning styles and abilities in the classroom. This is a really great question. ClassPoint has 8 different question types. So I will leave this up so you guys can see, but however, you can also see our 8 different question types up here. This is a great way to kind of adjust your questions based on the different learning styles in your classroom. So we have, of course, the multiple choice word cloud questions. Short answer is really great for those learners who do best by writing. However, we also have slide drawing for more visual learners as well, where they can go ahead and draw on the slide. And then we also have some media uploads like image, audio, and video. So students can submit their responses with that respective media as well. And then lastly, of course, we have our fill in the blanks question. So I would highly encourage you guys to intermix these activities in your PowerPoint sessions and within your class. So that way you can hit all the different learning styles and keep students engaged. So you're not, only doing multiple choice or only doing some writing questions. You can also intermix some speaking questions and some drawing questions as well. Excellent. Yep, you can use ClassPoint on any desktop version of PowerPoint. So it does not matter. I believe, I guess I shouldn't 100% say, but I don't think you have to be logged into PowerPoint to use ClassPoint. So you guys can have ClassPoint downloaded, log in to get access to all these features from there. If you can't answer, again, go ahead, click on that link, and let's go ahead and see. There's one other question I want to ask. Oh, I'll just do one other really quick recap. I'll just show this slide again. Remember that we went through how to award stars. So that could be in your class code with those ClassPoint activities, along with how to deduct stars. So again, that is also in our class code up here. So you award and deduct stars if needed, along with accumulating those stars within those saved classes. So that way you guys can have all of your participants listed here instead of using that random class code. And then you can adjust your stars after class, reset those stars back in PowerPoint edit mode. And then of course, use stars with different ClassPoint activities, auto award stars with ClassPoint's quiz mode, use the pick a name icon and feature award stars there by randomly selecting students. And then also within our grouping and ClassPoint's leaderboard. So there's lots of different ways to kind of add in these gamification pieces right within PowerPoint, especially for all of you who are really familiar with PowerPoint. As your lessons already have PowerPoint, you guys can take a look at some of our other resources on how to create those questions and really easily add that interaction pieces to your already existing content. But otherwise, ClassPoint is also really great to use if you are just getting started in PowerPoint as well. I'll go back to this one just in case. However, if you guys also want to book a demo for ClassPoint's premium features or anything like that, go ahead. But otherwise, that is all I have for everyone today. Thank you so much for joining and taking a look at all of ClassPoint's gamification options within PowerPoint.
Thank you very much, Sarah. That was a wonderful presentation, but I can assure you all of the participants, it's ClassPoint is more than that, because I start to use it 3 weeks ago. Especially, I'm a maths teacher. When I am teaching the interactive whiteboard, so there are lots of other tools, not only the gamification, drawing tools. For example, you can add AI questions. I mean, if there is a question, you can use AI. Without leaving the PowerPoint, you can do lots of things. You don't need to leave the PowerPoint. You can search Google and you can take a screenshot. There are lots of other features, but I want to add one more thing, because the ClassPoint will be this year our gift sponsor as well. Maybe you can say something about that, Sarah.
Yes, we are happy to be, once all of the gold medalists are announced, we will be awarding some schools with different versions of ClassPoint for free throughout the year. So go ahead, participate in the International Greenwich Olympiad there, so that way you guys can be a contestant to win some ClassPoint as well.
So they will get 1-year license. Okay, that's really good. Thank you very much one more time.
Thank you
See you.
all. Yeah, we'll send an email to everyone who is here with that certificate and along with the key as well. So don't worry about that. We'll send that. And then also this webinar is live on YouTube, so go ahead and take a look again.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.